today I am joined by Chris of not only the Lawrence Arms, but also Sundowner. He does a little bit of everything here. Obviously, the Lawrence Arms is going to be playing Riot Fest, but Sundowner just came out with a new album very recently. Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. Great to talk to you.
Yeah, no problem, of course. So I got to know, you're coming over to Chicago. Are there any Chicago things that you want to do while you're here?
Oh, man, there's, I was born and raised in Chicago, and so there's, like, endless things that I'm, that I want to do while I'm here this time. So many places to eat, so many things to see, I guess if I had to pick out a few, it's always good to, eat a Chicago hot dog. It's always good to support also like local Chicago coffee. I'm actually going to stop by Star Lounge and drink some of our locally roasted dark matter coffee and hang out in Ukrainian Village. And honestly, man, there's just endless amounts to do in Chicago. So the list is long.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not enough time. And I like that you mentioned the hot dogs. A lot of people first think of the pizza, but I would take the hot dogs over the pizza.
Yeah, I'll take the hot dog over the pizza too, man. Hot dogs, Byron's. I mean, it's I grew up certainly eating, I guess, lots of Chicago hot dogs.
So, Neon Fiction just recently came out. How's the response to it? Have you been reading up on any of what your fans have been saying?
I've been keeping up in the social media and trying to interact with people. I try to, I look at reviews. I try not to, put too much stake in them and read too heavily into them. But I've just been pleased with the response. Everyone's been really positive, so I'm really happy about it. I, really believe in the record a lot, and it's been it was a lot of fun making it, and it's been great working with Fat Wreck to put it out. And so, yeah, I feel really positive, and it's nice to know people are digging the record, so it always feels good.
And is there going to be much support for it in the meantime? I know as a just kind of side project, it's a little more difficult to do, but are you going to tour for it or anything like that?
Well, I'm definitely getting out. Traditionally I've always played solo as Sundowner, so the record is a little more of a full band sound, but initially I'm just going out and playing solo shows to support it. I'm doing a show actually next week in Chicago at Beat Kitchen. I'm doing a couple other Midwest dates around that show. And then I was just in San Francisco last week and putting together some East Coast dates. So there's definitely going to be, groups of shows. I would hesitate to call it like real hard touring or anything, but, definitely getting out to play the songs and try to do some support for the record. So, and then kind of see what happens after that. Doing the fest in Gainesville along with the Lawrence Arms, and so just trying to kind of do spot stuff and be smart, keep it light and fun, and not initially at least too much like month long kind of out grinding stuff. But that's sort of the cool thing about playing solo is that I can make cool little trips out of it and do 4 or 5 shows on my own, and it really worked for me. So I'm looking forward to it, and that's kind of all just started to get going now. So.
And you guys previously had recorded a music video a while ago for This War Is Noise. Are we going to see more music videos for Sundowner?
Yeah, actually. So I worked with a good friend of mine who's a New York City-based photographer. He's from the Midwest originally. His name is Ben Peer. And he shot the cover photo and most of the album photos for Neon Fiction. And when we shot all that stuff, we actually did shot a lot of video while we were doing it. And he's just finishing up assembling and kind of cutting this video together. So yeah, there's going to be a video. I'm really excited about it. I think it's kind of different, really cool, kind of goes with the vibe of the record and the album artwork. So not exactly sure when we're going to roll that out, but there's definitely going to be something.
Great. And I want to know what the kind of different feelings are for you between playing a Lawrence Arms show and playing a Sundowner show. How does that affect you differently?
Well, the Lawrence Arms is such enormous part of my life. And, you know, Brendan and I have been friends since we were, you know, in grade school. And, you know, for so long we toured so hard, and now we just really try to be, I guess, you know, I mean, balance everything else in our lives and be smart about what we do. It's always felt very natural and just kind of at home on stage with those guys. I mean, they're my musical, you know, our kinship goes so far back, and playing on my own is something that I just had to really learn how to do. I've done it enough now that I feel comfortable, and it feels, you know, natural to me now. But it took a while to kind of gel with that, because initially when you're playing solo, it's really exposed and raw, and you have to kind of learn your way into it a little bit. So the curve for a while was kind of steep, but now more than ever, I feel really comfortable. They're just really different experiences. Obviously, being on stage alone is a really, you know, kind of unique feeling, and the Lawrence Arms shows now it's almost like it's really second nature to me, and it just feels, you know, you just feel like you kind of belong with those guys in that way on stage. So, but they're both really, yeah, I guess they both give me certain different kinds of feelings of what ultimately is the same desire to be, I don't know, to share the work and stuff and to play the songs. So
great. That makes perfect sense. Are there any bands that you want to see while you're playing Riot Fest when you're off stage?
God, there's so many. I mean, it's incredible what they've put together here. It's such like an insane lineup. I really would love to see Chuck Reagan play. He's a friend of ours, and he's always puts on a great show. I grew up listening to Bad Religion, so can't wait to try to check them out. I mean, obviously, the fact Dinosaur Jr.'s playing, The Replacements. I'm hoping I get a chance to catch at least parts of all these sets. So it's going to be a crazy weekend. Already you can start to feel it's like starting to happen here in Chicago. So, but I think there's a lot of great bands to try to check out. I know the Flatliners are playing, and they're a Fat Wreck band and good friends of ours. So, do my best to kind of bounce around and see all I can see.
So you're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be trying, but
so are there
hopefully at least I'll make it to the Lawrence Arms set.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be up there when they start, so they don't go without you. Are there any other festivals that you, either as Sundowner or the Lawrence Arms, would just love to have the opportunity to play?
Well, the Lawrence Arms have been really fortunate to do some cool festivals over the years. I mean, we've played Rose Rock, which is a huge festival in Belgium that's pretty incredible, and in February we went down and played Soundwave in Australia, which was just a huge festival. Metallica was headlining it. I mean, multiple stage, just crazy. So obviously the Gainesville Fest is a punk rock festival that we've been a part of for a long time, and it's just such an insane collection of friends and people, bands we've known forever, and so that always feels, it's crazy, but it's always a lot of fun. So, we've been fortunate enough also to be on Riot Fest for many years, being from Chicago and, representing that pretty hard. So, there's a lot of cool festivals in Europe. I'm sure we would love to play that are bigger. And, as we kind of gear up for a new record, we'll see what kind of opportunities come our way. So
great. So I want to know this based on, because you do the solo shows when you play live, but when you record, you're recording with a full collective effort. Are you kind of dictating what everyone's going to play, or do they come in and collaborate with you?
Well, the main person there's really only two people who played on the record on the Unfiction. It was me and Neil Hennessy, who plays drums in the Lawrence Arms, and we kind of simulated this band thing, and Neil's a multi-instrumentalist. He can play anything. And he's just been really essential in helping me kind of develop what was in my head and make it real, So he played the drums and the bass, and he very, very capable of writing all of his own parts. And part of what's really cool about it is that I trust him so much to write stuff that makes sense for the songs, you know. And I really focused on guitars and vocals, and that's sort of my, you know, I'm not a very good bass player, a very good drummer, so I focus my energies on really trying to get cool sounds and execute that end of it as best I can. All the songs start as acoustic shells, kind of skeletons, and Neil really just helped me to kind of build them from there and layer them. I love playing electric guitars in the studio. It's just one of, I mean, as much as I'm a songwriter and a vocalist, I really identify as a guitar player. So getting in there and writing melodies and different parts is a lot of fun. So with Neon Fiction, we were really just, I mean, we kind of made, it's a full band sounding record, but it really is just me and Neil. And, you know, I think we have such a, you know, we have such a long-standing relationship, musical relationship, that we're able to communicate ideas in probably kind of a weird way. But I think that really works for us as far as getting down to kind of the grit of being in the studio and trying to make cool songs. So it was a really unique experience, and it was really cool. And again, like, it would be awesome to be able to get out and do like these full band kind of shows that we could really showcase the songs in the way they are on the record. But sort of by the nature of how I've organized this, the songs kind of take on a new life when I'm playing solo. And, you know, for me, that's kind of cool, actually, that they kind of shift and change again. But as far as making the record, yeah, I trust Neil's taste and his ability to write parts so much that I try not to dictate. I just tell him what I like.
Great.
You know.
So, which member of the Lawrence Arms, yourself included, would survive the longest in a zombie apocalypse?
Interesting. You know, I'm probably going to go with Neil. There's something about Neil that just seems like, you know, that he would make it the furthest. I don't know. You know, not that I think Brendan and I couldn't make it a little while, but yeah, something. I'm not. It's an X factor. I don't know if I can exactly put my finger on it, but there's something about Neil.
It's one of those, you know it when you see it.
You know, he's just got that thing. I see him getting a lot further.
What role does college radio play for all of your bands and the music industry?
Well, you know, I think, you know, I certainly don't claim to be any expert on how this industry works, and obviously it's changed a lot through the years, and certainly since, you know, we started really doing this, you know, I guess seriously, in the late 90s, you know, a lot has changed. I feel like college radio for Sundowner right now, and for me specifically, is really essential into what we're trying to do, and that's, it's not just about, you know, trying to, you know, grow for us, but it's about reaching people that I think, you know, might relate to the material and dig music, that maybe don't come from, you know, the place that we've sort of lived over the years, you know, in different ways, like either like from punk rock music or from the local Chicago scene. I just feel like college radio is important because it has a reach to other kinds of people, and I think as an artist, you just, you know, you want to be able to reach out to different types of people, and you like to think that you use a universal language or quality that, you know, maybe transcends just, you know, the people who already know about you. And so for me right now, college radio is just a really great way to try to reach, you know, new listeners who come from different backgrounds and have different ideas about music. And so I feel like that's, I feel really fortunate that, you know, I have a label that wants to invest in college radio. So
great. So any last words for the fans of Sundowner and Neon Fiction?
You know, just, again, I just feel really thankful to be able to share the work and share the songs, and It's great to hear from people and get such a positive response. And I'm really excited people dig the record. I'm really proud of it. And hopefully, if you're close by, come see me play. Obviously, in the age of the internet, it's really cool to be able to connect with people in different ways about the music. So, I guess mainly I just say thanks for being supportive for so many years of the Lawrence Arms and the other projects. We're all just trying to, find a way to keep doing this and keep it a part of our lives for the future, So, yeah.
And you'll be at the Beat Kitchen soon, right?
Yes, I'll be at the Beat Kitchen on Saturday, September 21st, and it'll be kind of the release show. We'll have like colored vinyl and lots of cool stuff, and obviously, hopefully, I'll see people around Chicago this weekend for Riot Fest.
Great. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
So much, Mark. It's been my pleasure, man.